Hi, guys. Today I want to wrap up in a proper review Love After Addiction. This is the 2026 Taiwanese BL, y'all. I know they are saying this is coming out of C Town. Now, y'all know they can't play me, homie. This is not, yes, they may be speaking a dialect of Mandarin, or maybe even not, honey, but they are not in. You just cannot convince me of that. But C Town they want to take responsibility for this BL. So I guess, okay. But just like me, you've been watching this from the tippy top. From episode 1, they wrapped up very recently in the last few days, episode 12. And I just want to talk about it with you girls and you guys. So let's jump right on into this episode. And oh, yeah, just in case you're confused or, you don't know where you are, you're here. So, girls, guys, everybody, whomever is listening, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for all of my new subscribers. I certainly, definitely appreciate you for being here. You give me the inspiration to continue to come back here because I know that you're interested, and interest is all I need, baby. Just one, just one. It don't take but one. And I'm so stoked that you are here with me, baby. So let's jump right on in. I had done a watch along, my watch along series kind of depict me just kind of plugging away at a drama. One of my goals this year is to finish this stuff, y'all. I was trying not to use a profane word, stuff. Can I say stuff? I am trying to finish these dramas. I'm also leading with the foot of new. I feel like I've been doing a really good job of embracing what is new, what's new to offer out here in these A drama streets. And I have got to say, for the first quarter of 2026, almost being at a close, wow, guys, they're not doing too bad. They're not doing too bad. I mean, they're not doing too bad. There has not been so much gangster going on that I can't, have anything good to say. So there is hope there. I am a BLer to the day I die. So I watch BLs with tinted glasses, purple tinted glasses. So that means that if you want an honest review, don't listen to me. Nah, I'm gonna tell you what I think. But BLs are always my jam, even when they totally piss me off or I see something that I don't like. Now, with this drama, let me say this before I jump into what I think about the last two episodes. I just want to give an overall, I want to just hold some space for this drama. Can I do that? As a writer, as a creator, as someone who is creatively inclined, I am an author. I have published 32. Look, some of these words, look, sometimes when I'm being dialectical and I'm being whatever you call it, it's because there are people, there are personalities, there are folks that exist on this earth that say some of the funniest things in some of the funniest ways. So please don't think that in my normal life, I walk up to people and they're like, well, how many do you want, ma'am? And I say, 32. I want 32. I know somebody that says 32. And I just love that. So whenever that number comes, whenever I have a good excuse to say 32, I say it. So I'm saying 32 because I have published 32 books. And I don't know. I'm just glad I get to say it. Anyway, as a writer, it's every writer's dream to be able to have a live action of your work. So whenever you hear Adaxa, and look, only the people that listen to this episode are gonna know this. I guess I gotta repeat it 1,000 more times. But um when I say something's janky and the acting isn't all the way on par, that is me saying, look, this is not all that great, But if I had to produce my work, it will be worse, baby. Okay, it'll be worse. Because when it comes to love after addiction, I appreciate dramas no matter how low budget, disconnected, all over the motherfucking place the story and the plot is. No matter how shallow the feelings are, no matter what's happening, I always try to hold space for storytellers who are able to make it far enough that they get on the big screen. It doesn't make any writer who isn't on the big screen inferior. But let's face it, that is a benchmark of, success, or even a better way to describe it is something we writers like. We just like that shit. That's our jam. Nobody who's in fashion doesn't want people wearing their motherfucking clothes. So when you write books and that people, beautiful people, will act out your story and a director will come in to direct the shit and all that, that is, man, that has to take you aback. So what I'm trying to get at here is that the production value on this shit, I produced it. Did I produce it? Did I produce it? I was just asking if I produced it. Because this is the quality of production I would do. Okay? I probably would have one person playing all the parts, so that would make mine lower than them. But I'm just asking. So let's move over into episodes 11 and 12, which is a storyline that I haven't jumped into. Now, we knew that the white truck of death wasn't going to come because we're not in Tyee. Lacorn land, where a white truck is going to fuck around and splatter you all over the road. Somehow, come episode 12, you still alive after you've been white trucked. So we didn't have a white truck of death. Or did we? We did get a proverbial one, y'all. We got an emotional white truck of death. Well, what was the white truck of death on this? Didn't nobody get hit by no car? Our dear, Udi, dear Yoshi, had a come to Buddha moment, baby. I was gonna say Jesus, but we over there in Taiwan. I don't give a damn, y'all. On our favorite site in the world, China is claiming responsibility for this drama, and I just feel like, no, please stop playing with me. Well, Idoxodon, why do you say shit like that? Because I realize that people who listen to this podcast or this YouTube channel, same difference, they are not versed in Idoxodon, the lexicon or the theory. I'm a theorist, baby. I'm a theorist or what have you. So when I say shit like, they lying about China, I draw back to Johnny. Now, if you're not a OG, not to be confused with, oh, baby, I'm original. When you are OG, you remember that BLs have a history of, yeah, I can't even get the history out. Why? Because these BLs nowadays. So first of all, if you don't know who Johnny is, you need to watch some motherfucking dramas, okay? I don't want to tell you who Johnny is. Yeah, I'm going to give you some homework. I know. I'm going to give you some homework. But through the context clues of what I'm saying, you're going to figure it out anyway, so it doesn't matter. When Johnny and Tim, remember him? When they played in Addiction, do you hear what I'm saying? Okay. We know they are out of C-Town, as I like to colloquially call C-Drama Land. Okay? They are C-Drama Land. Whew. And they played in a little BL called Heroin, aka Addiction. It don't even matter which one. Addicted, rather. It don't even matter, because the heroin and addicted, same thing. Baby, when I tell you those two popped the cherries on many of us BL watchers, they didn't quite pop. Did they pop my cherry? Look, it doesn't matter. They will pop your shit again. If you are a G, you watch that. If you haven't seen it, your cherry gonna get popped again 2 times. What I'm trying to get at very inefficiently is that they tried to ground them boys' careers to a halt. AKA they tried to cancel them. Tim, it worked on. He had to disappear for a little while, y'all. I don't know I don't know what was going on with him, baby. He sent an SOS and somebody came and got him. But Johnny, that's why he gets a first name. Tim, I'm calling Tim because, But Johnny, baby, Johnny is that dude. He exudes so much BDE that he is uncancelable. Do you hear me? Johnny was like, fuck what y'all talking about. I'm about to go to work tomorrow. You gonna bring your camera, you gonna bring your computer, you gonna bring your damn refreshments, you gonna refresh me, and we gonna keep on shooting these damn dramas. Do you understand that? And when I do continue to do these dramas, I'm gonna be authority. Cause I think Johnny wanted to be a damn cop. I'm sorry, y'all. Every damn drama Johnny has done ever since heroin addicted, he has been a cop or a firefighter. Same difference. So all I'm saying by all this, y'all, is that you cannot all of a sudden go so hard in the paint to try to ruin these people. Tim just came back literally 2 years ago. He came back with Victoria's Song on a contemporary C drama. And it was decent. But baby, that heat he served up in heroin, I will never forget that. And it's almost like every role he plays in pales in comparison to that. Johnny's that dude. He was able to, his career never resurrect. It didn't die. Nothing has to resurrect. Because Johnny was like, you're going to come to set tomorrow, or I'm going to come over your house and arrest you because I'm the police in real life, even though I love acting like I am in dramas. Anyway, moving on. So they claim a responsibility for this, and they can do that if they want to, but you cannot trick me. So episode 11, where are we, guys? Yoshi, this is how we got the white truck of death emotionally anyway. We got the white truck of death because Yoshi stood 10 toes down and he said, look, to his little, what you call them, y'all? The person that pimps your ass out to the media and all that shit. He was like, look, your efforts to try to clean up my image and continue to pay the townsfolk to, report that I'm a good person. And apparently, because I totally missed it, y'all. I did not know that he had been accused of being addicted to some pain pills, or maybe he was addicted to them. Y'all, I don't know. It don't even matter. But his pimp was like, you can't do that. I'm going to make you come back to the limelight. He's like, no, I don't want to. He was like, y'all, I got to tell y'all what happened in real life. Because look, and this is the year of empowerment. Do y'all not feel this? Look, this year is harder than last year. Remember how everybody was like ready to be done with 2025 because we was like, 2025 is too damn hard, and we were like, okay, can December 31st at 12:01 hurry up and come so that we can, I guess it's January 1st at that point. But what I'm trying to say is that, 2026 is harder than a motherfucker. Don't it feel like we've been living this year for a year in the first quarter? But you know what differentiates year 2026 from 2025? It's that we empowered, aren't we? Because even over there in C-drama land where verticals are being shot, where I do believe they in China with the verticals, y'all. Baby, the year of the empowerment. If you haven't heard my episode of I Will Not Marry, it's so empowering. Oh my God. Or have the social justice warrior sisterhood worn off on me, and now I'm one of them. Am I one of them now, y'all? I'll take it, but I'm just asking because it seems like everything I watch, I'm like, you know what? Let me do some snaps or something because this is, yes, I love this. I want to applaud. So Yoshi standing 10 toes down, looking at his former pimp, is like, what'd he say, y'all? Because I'm pulling it up. He said, from now on, I want to walk my own path. Y'all, when I watched that, I was like, you know what? I love that. How many of you listening now are attempting to walk your own path? I know here at IDOC Sarang, baby, I got to walk my own path. You're not going to find any other drama reviewer, watcher, lover that does it the way that I do it. Okay? Because my style is my style, and I have accepted that I'm going to walk my own path when it comes to this. But even deeper than that, even in your job, even in your personal life and your communications with your friends or lovers or whomever you're dealing with, a lot of these different categories of life are requiring you to walk your own motherfucking path, aren't they? They're causing you to walk away. Bay. Because this podcast, this YouTube channel is I Rak Sarang. I love dramas. But you know what? I also love myself. I hope you love yourself. And these dramas, watching these dramas is so much deeper than us just like squealing and swooning over these male leads. Now, I love doing that, and I do a whole hell of a lot of that. But baby, I'm being empowered too. Because even though the production value on this was kind of like, what? I thoroughly enjoyed episode 11 and 12. I felt nothing though. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're outside and it's super cold, like in the winter time, and your shit's so numb that you don't feel the snot coming out. You just know that it's happening. Okay, well, that's what happened to me on this drama. I watched this shit all the way to the edge. You know, they give us that little behind the scenes stuff at the end of every episode. I watched it until it actually was relevant in the 12th episode. But y'all, the white truck of death, I'm trying to get there. And I hope that you're enjoying it while I'm trying to get there. They white trucked us because after he stood 10 toes down, he went on a journey, baby. Sometimes you got to go on a journey that don't make no sense. Sometimes you got to go your own way. Ain't got to sit in your pocket. I'm talking to somebody right now that this where you at. And when I say don't have a cent, I don't mean lint. Sometimes it can mean lint. But I mean, you know, you don't have enough to justify what you trying to do. But he did. He got his damn backpack. We ain't talking about the backpack that you send your children off to school with, the one you might carry to work. I'm talking about that backpack that look heavy, the one that looks like it's troublesome to you, the one you get when you go to Bali or something and you trying to find yourself. He's got that. And he's wrapped all up. He's, burgered up or what have you, because he's now in the desert. And y'all, this budget's kind of low. I'm not gonna lie, it's low. So he's burgered up and he's going through this desert, and he's like, you know what I'm saying? He depicts a man who has lost himself, but now he has found himself. Do you know what this reminds me of? And only only the G's gon' understand this reference. Phew, for a minute there, I lost myself. I lost myself. Yoshi being in the limelight and with whatever addiction he may or may not have had, he lost himself. And the only way that he could find himself was to walk through that janky ass set they had trying to depict Arabia, y'all. I don't know where the hell. Please don't ask me where he was at. It was obvious they was trying to depict Arabia. Like I said, they got way more. They got more than I would have, baby, because I probably would have a big ass poster of a desert behind you. Bam, we in the desert, and that's worse than that. So I'm really not able to cap on y'all too bad. But he had to go find himself because for a minute there, he lost himself. He lost himself. And he was gone for a year, y'all. Yeah. Nobody tells you that when you on a path that you have to scale yourself. It sounds cute when you're hearing people or watching people, especially where you are on this site right now. There are people that you seeing them after they get back out the janky desert of Arabia. They look good, smelling good, probably feel good. But there were some years in there where where they was looking janky. They had a janky ass. They had some jank going on. And Yoshi had to go in the desert, baby, around nobody but wind. And that struggle sand that they tried to give us, that really wasn't sand. It was more like impacted dirt. But we're gonna go with this because I know what they was going for. Yoshi rose up on this OG. Now he is an old G, but he on his way out. Cause this man done F'd, went out there with damn 12 ounces of water. That shit wasn't enough. And he was, laying sprawled all out on the desert floor. And he was meeting his maker if nobody would have came through. Do you understand what I'm saying? Except Yoshi, he not only in that moment found himself, but he found homeboy who was dying in the desert. Yoshi took his damn hijab off, gave it to Gramps, put it around his face, took his really, really nice looking goggles. These goggles look like some sunglasses, but they some goggles. I have to get some of those because goggles have come a long way, baby. Because he took them goggles off, he put them on Gramps. He threw an arm around Gramps and safely made it to some shelter in which he pitched a tent. He struck a fire, gave Grandpa some bread, gave him some water, set him up with a little corner where he could lay down and convalesce out there in the Arabian desert. He brought him back to life. And in many ways, that brought Yoshi back to life. Because in that instance, that old man became his responsibility. He saw that man all the way to the airport, onto a damn plane and into an Uber to his damn house. That man turned out to be a director who wanted him in a movie, who was willing to conceal his identity long enough until he just couldn't take it no more and said, look, I'm a big deal. I'm a producer. Why you out there in the middle of the desert as a big time producer? Who knows? But he was out there. And Yoshi saved his life, so he extended an offer that didn't have no ties to the pimps back over in Taiwan, baby. Taipei. Okay, I already made that point. But Yoshi also got an invitation for a wedding. And this invitation, the locale was back on Singles Inferno, baby, or Jeju Island. I'm calling it all that. Singles Inferno. So he had to go back. Now, it's been a year since he's seen Mung. He walked away. Mung, he told his dad, look, I choose you. Dad felt guilty. And the guy that I thought was his dad all this time really wasn't his dad. It was the village elder. Mung's dad fine. I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying, I don't know. He fine anyway. He went with his dad. And they went to the city. They didn't stay in the little village. They went to the city, got a little apartment, little 2-bedroom. And they lived together. They enjoyed their time together. But Dad was scored. Dad was being afflicted with a double-edged sword because his son, although every parent loves their children, and there's a temptation to covet your child to you, especially the older that they get. And the more your child loves and respects you, they're willing to do as you please until you have to intercede. You have to intervene and let that child know that, hey, I want you to choose you. And every day that Mung was at home with Dad, Dad knew that he was miserable because he wasn't living out his potential. He was being smothered. So Dad told him, hey, I got you a new tux, because by the by, he had found out about the wedding invitation and all that good stuff. And Dad knew that his son was in love with Yoshi. This entire year, he knew that. But he had a battle to fight. His love for his child, wanting to know for a fact that he was all right. But unfortunately, you can't know your child is all right when they're hurting in your face. So Mung decides he's going to go back to the island as well. Yoshi is on his way to the island. Yoshi goes to this island now. Yoshi is a man of the world, like literally a man of the world. He did around the world, around the desert in 180 days. He has no abode. Everything that fits in that damn backpack on his back, the traveler's pack, that's what he owns. So remember in the credits where they would always show him with that big ass, it almost looked like he had like parachuted in, didn't he? And y'all, baby, I ain't gonna even tell y'all how long it took me to figure out there wasn't no parachute. That was his backpack. I'm sorry, it was episode 12, I confess. Episode 12, he's got this big ass pack on with his tux on because that's his house. You ain't gonna leave if your house is as portable as his house is, you got to take your house with you. And while he's there, he's reminiscing and all these different things because remember when he arrived to Singles Inferno, he have no way to get in town because they had left him. So he started to kind of reenact his first arrival so that, I don't know, maybe just by chance he would run into Mung and run into him. He did, except he was sitting and he had started to doze off and he was asleep, just like he was asleep when Mung found him. So, Mung rolls up on him and, he kicks him awake, not like a violent kick, but, he nudges him with his foot. And Yoshi is so in love still. It's like the next day after he, you know, separated from him at those rocks. It's the next day. Fuck a year. It's a day later, emotionally. Isn't it amazing how some experiences in life, especially with human beings, the next time you see that person, if it's been some time, it's literally the next day after whatever situation you had before. Isn't that really weird? Anyway, he pulls his helmet off and they passionately kiss each other because they've been missing each other for this year. And he climbs on the back of the motorcycle, fully awake now, not in sleep mode. And Mung declares that wherever you go, I'm going. I'm not going to let you get away this time. This time, it's me and it's you, and there's nothing that can stop us. I don't feel anything when they say this, and I'm not going to hold too much against them because, like I said, I have zero budget, baby, for a film. And the one I do have, I already told you what my desert would consist of, a poster. But I love their story. I love what happened because I have enough cognition to put together what the writer was going for. I really can't even describe how I enjoyed episode 11 and 12 because full transparency, I did not get the feels. Maybe some of you patient watchers who are able to wait until a drama has dropped every episode and then binge it, perhaps you guys were able to catch the feels. I didn't at all. And when I tell you I'm an easy sell, it doesn't get much easier than me as far as watching dramas, yeah. But the bottom line is I still was able to enjoy this drama. I was still able to tune in every week expectantly. I really was. So this is my last thought about this. And it is this. What is going on? I told y'all, I don't believe it's Sea-Town, it's Taiwan. But even if it is Sea-Town, it really kind of doesn't matter to me because in Lacorn Land, Tai, what I love about them is they recur. They're actors. They're BLers. We're going to see them again. It's only a matter of time before you're going to see them again, They're coming back. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, I'll never see them ever again. And I think there was an element of that I used when I watched this. I said, you know what? Maybe it isn't making me swoon and melt and all the rest of that. But I am enjoying watching these guys because I'm not going to see them again. What's popping, y'all? What's going on in Sea-Town and Taiwan that when we get a BL out of y'all, we don't get these people again? I mean, I'm not trying to put out a PSA. I'm just saying I'm a BLer for life. But just think about it. For my fellow BLer OGs, not to be confused with old, we original. When was the last time you saw a couple out of Taiwan that recurred. You probably could count on one finger how many times you got them to come back in another BL. And hell, we'll even take a series. Now, We Best Love, y'all don't want to get me started on We Best Love. So we're gonna leave that right there. That's for another day. But yeah, especially the contemporaries, like in the last couple of years, since 2000, let's say 24. When was the last time we saw one of those couples recur, like come back in a different story or maybe even a part two? Other than We Best Love and some of that history where they kind of, threw some couples in at times, but we never genuinely got another one with them. And I'm just trying to figure out why. Word on the curb is we're going to get another Revenge Love season 2. Y'all. Y'all gonna think this a BL channel then, because who? Oh my gosh. We might have to watch We Best Love again. Like, not We Best Love, but Revenge Love. Ugh. That's my jam, y'all. I absolutely love that. But I love you for tuning in. I love you for subscribing. And I'm serious when I say I love you, because you are what this is all about. You don't have to feel like you can't comment over here. You don't have to feel like there's some kind of approved thought pattern. Some sites we go on, you can't give your opinion. You can't say something like, you know what? I didn't feel anything, but I still like the drama. And it's like, how dare you say you don't feel anything? It's like, okay, but I didn't, but I still like the drama, because we're adults and we have the ability to delineate between what we liked and what we didn't like, and we can still make a summation at the end. So I don't understand that, but it's okay. You can understand this weekend. Today is Friday, March the 13th. Friday the 13th. Wow. I am going to watch Boyfriend on Demand, even though Sakangchun, my absolute favorite. Oh, he is my favorite, guys. I don't want it to end, but I'm going to have to watch it so I can report to you guys. So if I were you, I would not only subscribe, I would put your notifications on and make sure that you have me queued up so that you can tune in this weekend and hear everything that I have to say about my absolute favorite. I cannot wait to talk to you then. I'll see you in the next drama.